Yo, yo, yo. What's going on, Miami Hurricanes fans and my college football family? It's been a minute. Been a minute since I've heard that little intro play, and it's been a minute since I've seen y'all. How you been? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. We did it. We made it through the week. And it's finally time to fire up the live streams once again. The old hypothetical machine. Talk some college football because we're going to blink and it's going to be here. Now, we do have a little bit of catching up to do because, well, the last time I was live was the NFL draft. So it's been about a month, maybe a little bit more. So we got to catch up a little bit. I want to give some shout outs to everybody that I see here bright and early for the stream. My man Randy. Randy, what's up? Space Mountain. Who else we got? Peso Frank. My good friend Chris Gaffney, who probably thinks that I have completely forgotten about him or hate him. Neither of those are true. Robin, Sage, The U, Shard, Katie, Nick Snyder, Swag Kane, CJ. Appreciate everybody being here. Patty, the refs. What's up, y'all? Now, I do want to let you know that I cannot pin the messages up like I typically can. YouTube did this weird thing where they updated the live chat, and I've not streamed in a month, so I didn't know. So I can't pin the messages, but I see y'all. I see all the messages, so just a heads up. So how's everybody doing, for real? Can everybody hear me okay? Audio sound fine? Need to tweak anything? Too loud? Too quiet? What are we thinking? Hopefully we have some other fan bases and stuff coming in here as well. I hope the Florida State fans aren't scared to show their faces, talk a little bit. Georgia Tech's not on the schedule this year, but, CJ's already in here repping, so that's good to see. How's Max in his first mountain summer? He's happy. He likes it. His allergies bother him a little bit once things started blooming and stuff, so we do have him on some allergy medication. But other than that, he loves it. He loves it. I think your phone must still be broken. It might be. It might be, Chris. But we'll small talk for a few minutes here. We'll give people time to file into the stream and find their virtual seats because tonight, the community, the viewers, college football fans, aka you guys, get to vote win or loss, game by game, for the Miami Hurricanes. We did this last year, and if I'm not mistaken, I think we did it the year before that. So this is going to be the community, the majority. It's going to be your guys' way too early season prediction for the Miami Hurricanes for the 2025 season. I've already put mine out. I did a couple of days ago. And I'm really not going to push it too much or reference it a whole lot during the stream because for people who haven't seen it yet, I don't want it to influence them or their decisions. I want you to use your brain. I want you to, go with how you feel about it. It's really more so about what you think will happen, not what you want to happen, because those are two totally different things. Everyone here wants 12-0 for the Miami Hurricanes. ACC championship game, college football playoffs, national championship. I mean, we all want that, right? Everybody here wants that. Yep. Yeah, everybody in here wants to see that, but, we don't know if that's going to happen or not. Now, I'm going to give you some information on each team as we go game by game. I'll give you their record last year. I'll try to mention any big changes, a new quarterback coming in, head coaching change, anything like that, so you kind of have something to go off of. And then what we'll do is in the chat, what's up, Lamb Fam? In the chat, there will be a poll that will pop up probably at the very top. I think it's at the very top. And you're going to press win or loss, and we're going to tally it up here, and we'll put a W or L for each game. And we'll see what the majority of the people think. That's what we're going to do. So I wanted to talk about something before we get into it, though, because I've been arguing with people back and forth on social media over this. And apparently I'm the weird one. I mean, who would have thought? But I need y'all to tell me something here. What do you keep your thermostat set to during the summer? Because I posted this video up on X and everybody's in an uproar over it. Either people think that I'm out of my mind, which is true. They think that I'm faking it. Not true. That's not the case. But people don't. Let me just show you. Let me show you. All right, summer is back. So you know what time it is. Let me know what you keep your thermostat set on. Last year, y'all didn't believe me. I said we keep it set on 80, and we cranked it up to 81, and we did it. We made it through 2024. But this year, we're stepping it up a notch. We're going for 82. 82, baby. If you would just try it for a little bit, you'll get used to it. All right, summer is back. So what do y'all keep your thermostats set on? Am I out of my mind for doing 82? That is the way to get your electric bill under $100. I like to save money. I'm a tightwad. Yeah, is it super comfortable? I mean, no. Is it unbearable? Absolutely not. I mean, come on, y'all. I grew up without air conditioning in the house. So it's not really like, maybe it's wild for you or for a lot of people, but it's not that crazy for me. So 82, all right, I'm sweating a little. All right. I'm a little sweaty, you know. It is what it is, but sometimes a little bit of pain and suffering to save some money is worth it. That's just my opinion. So we're going for 82. I did 81 last year, and it was no problem. It was absolutely no problem. So Creeps SD says nothing below 75. Nick says 70. Patty 73. ALC 68. I think that's crazy. You're out of your mind. 68. Might as well move to Antarctica. The refs, Swag Kane says 72. The ref says 70 to 75. Shard is 69. Nice. Let's see. Mickey says, what you want is 78. Your husband wants 68. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'd have to kick him out. He'd have to sleep outside. Bro, prep, what? What LZ? Maddie says 78. You'll try 79. So we're trying 82. We're trying 82, and we'll see. I mean, it gets fairly humid here in Tennessee, so at times it can get a bit uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, it's not as bad as you think. It's not as bad as you think. Davia, what's the question? What you keep your thermostat on in the summertime? What do you keep it on in the summer? 82 is normal. I agree. Thank you, Sage. I agree. I think that's perfectly normal. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and we'll probably bring this up a couple of times throughout the stream because I know there are a lot of questions about this, the virtual season. Miami Hurricanes 2025 virtual season. For the past, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, we have always started it the first week of June, the first weekend in June. I know I didn't really put a video out. I did put something up on social media, so if you don't follow me on X, it's at thecoachcoop. I posted an update there a couple weeks ago. The virtual season will start in July. And it's because you can't edit real players in CFB 25. So this is one of those things where it's a blessing to have the new game because now everyone gets to play it and we get a new one every year. We can do multiplayer, all that good stuff. So it's great. But for the virtual season, it makes it a little complicated because, for instance, I can't boot up CFB 25 and replace Cam Ward with Carson Beck. There's no reason to do a virtual season with last year's roster because that completely defeats the purpose. The idea is seeing this year's virtual team take the field and kind of see how the season plays out virtually and then compare it to the real deal. So what we have to do, since you can't edit players, we don't want to go back to NCAA 14. Now, you know, the grass is greener on the other side. We've got the new game, the better, prettier graphics and stuff. So we don't want to revert and go back. We just have to wait for the new game. And it is what it is. CFB 26 releases July 10th. If you pre-order the deluxe edition, you can get it July 7th. So what we will probably have to do is 2 streams per week. We might have to do 2 games a week instead of 1. Hopefully that won't make it less exciting, because everybody looks forward to, Friday and Saturday, 1 game a week like the real season. We have to adjust. I have to be willing to adapt. You can probably download custom roster updates. I don't believe so. No, there is an issue when it comes to NIL and the college football game. It's why you can't edit real players. So like if you do a season and you go through and recruit, fake made up players, you can edit those players, but you cannot go in and mess with Cam Ward, because Cam Ward had an NIL deal. They pay the players to be in the game. It's connected to a live service, and you can't go in and make those changes. So I was kind of stuck in a difficult spot, because I was pumped and excited and ready to fire up the virtual season, and my hands are tied. There's just nothing I can do. There's really not a good workaround. We're gonna have to adapt and just go with the flow and move it to July. Move it to July. See, exactly. Yep, I can't rig it anymore. It's very unfortunate. I know everybody's really upset about that, but no more rigging it. No more, giving Miami Hurricanes wide receivers 100 speed, 100 catching. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Duck says 65 sleep, 70 daytime. So you guys adjust your air different from day and night. So when you go to sleep, you crank it down. You just wish it was on PC. Is it still not going to be? So we're about to get into it. Don't worry. Just wanted to give people a few minutes to get in here. Save your money. A lot of people have no central AC. It seems like such a foreign idea to people. People think that it's not possible. And I'm like, man, we didn't have AC in our vehicles. We didn't have AC in the house. You just hope that you got a little bit of a breeze and you sucked it up. Now I know, hey, well, today, Coop, you ain't got to worry about that. Yeah, but it gets expensive, man. That electric bill, ooh. It gets up there. So what days would be the 2 extra days? Yeah, so we'll have a little bit of extra time. I'll do the deluxe edition so we can start it as soon as possible. That's what we'll go for. So I think I'm about ready to go ahead and dive into this thing and go ahead and get the community prediction game by game. If we have any tech things, just bear with me. Again, we've not been live in a month, so it's been quite a little bit of time here. But let's go ahead and dive right in and talk about game number 1. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the regular season, 11-1. They had that loss to NIU, but I don't think anybody really cares about that or brings it up anymore, because we're talking about a team that was the national championship runner-up, losing to Ohio State. So they had a heck of a season. This is a night game. Make note of this. This is a night game on a Sunday. It will be the only game on that night. I think Virginia Tech and South Carolina are playing earlier that afternoon, but you best believe the world will be watching this game. The history between Miami and Notre Dame, we all remember how hyped the 2017 matchup was. I think you're going to see something similar to that this year, because for Notre Dame, you're going to have a situation where they have a freshman quarterback coming in with C.J. Carr, taking, his first snaps here in Hard Rock Stadium week 1 against a Miami Hurricanes team that had, one of their best seasons under Mario Cristobal so far. It was their best season under Mario Cristobal so far. So we can talk about how they missed the ACC championship game and didn't make it to the playoffs, screwed up against Georgia Tech, blew the lead against Syracuse. But the reality is they did win their most games under Mario Cristobal so far. So are the Canes going to take another positive step forward in 2025? Well, they're going to be tested right out of the gate week 1, because Marcus Freeman is going to have his team ready to play. They did have to replace defensive coordinator Al Golden, a name that we're all very familiar with. But this will be year 4 for Marcus Freeman. He went 9-4, 10-3, 14-2, so positive progress year after year. But I do like to bring up the question here. It's a team sport, so there's a lot more to it than just this. But if we want to step back and take a look at the quarterback rooms for a moment, are you trusting the experienced Carson Beck or the freshman CJ Carr? Now, this is going to be our first look at Heatherman's defense, so we have to hope that it's an improvement. He's definitely going to be tested here in this first game. Notre Dame, I have a feeling, if Carr is not popping off, if he doesn't feel comfortable early, maybe they try to slow the game down a little bit. Maybe they try to pound the rock. But we'll see. For that Notre Dame game, I'm going to put up the poll. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to place your votes. I just like to give you some information because not everybody wants to sit down and research all of these things and look at all the changes. We can discuss it in the live chat, talk about, reasoning why you put W or L. You can even try to convince other people and change their minds if that's what you want to do. But we're going to go through. Let's put it up. Start a poll. Miami versus Notre Dame. Win or loss? We'll give it a couple minutes. It should pop up at the top of the live chat. And then it's up to the community. It's up to you guys. Make your voices heard. Vote win or loss. Miami versus Notre Dame. It's anonymous. That's the cool thing. Unless you want to speak up and talk about it, you don't have to. But it is anonymous. So let's get it up so people can see it live as it's going. It's anonymous, so nobody's going to know what you vote. Vote with your brain. Vote with what you think is going to happen. I mean, if you want to vote for what you want to happen, if you're trying to will it into existence and manifest it, then so be it, if that's your thing. All right, let's see if we can make this big enough here. Can y'all see that? You probably can't even see that, can you? There we go. Okay, right now I'm actually a bit shocked. I'm going to be real. A lot of people are voting win. A lot of people are voting win. It's at the top of the live chat, guys. If you have to pop out and pop back in, you can, but you need to click win or loss for your vote to count, to go in. So be part of the community. Be part of the group of people that made your voice heard. At the end of the day, the community prediction, it can't speak for everyone. But that's just how voting works in general, right? You go with the mass majority. What do the majority of the people think? What do they believe? And right now it's 75% W for the Canes against Notre Dame. Come on. Put your votes in. Put your votes. I will say that, as backwards as this might sound, I don't think this game is quite as important as we might believe. Like, you never want to lose a game, but I just want to make it known that this is a non-conference game. So it's not the end of the world if you drop game number 1. I also think it's more, for Miami anyways, I think it's more so about how they finish the season versus how they start. I do think that, a good solid win, would be good for the mental. It would be good for the fan base. People would be like, oh, Carson Beck's the real deal. This defense, Heatherman has them dialed in. What an improvement. But it's a non-conference game at the end of the day. Miami can bounce back if they did end up losing this game. And what I personally want more than anything, just speaking for me, is I want to run the table in the ACC, if possible. So it's not the end of the world if they lose to Notre Dame. We would obviously prefer to win it if we can. Why would he lose that game? What, the Notre Dame? Keep voting, y'all. Keep voting. The experience at QB between both teams will be the determining factor. QB will be the difference, in my opinion. That's kind of where I'm leaning at the moment. Maurice, I think that you might see some freshman mistakes from CJ Carr. They can't literally come out there and just run the football all night long. They're going to have to throw some passes, and hopefully we see some improvements with the DBs. Maybe we can pick some of those off. And again, Carson Beck, the only thing that would maybe be a concern for me is the fact that he did miss spring. So you have to hope that that chemistry and the timing is there between Beck and the receivers and the tight ends. But he is going to get some time here, a couple months leading up to that first game. But he's still experienced. He still has a ton of experience under his belt and big-time games. People want to talk about Carson Beck's fall off, and they constantly bring up the numbers and stuff from last season. But the man has been in big-time games, and he's won big-time games. So this stage is not going to be too big here. Miami versus Notre Dame at Hard Rock, it's not a big deal. So as long as he can find his rhythm early, I'm not trying to influence anybody. I'm just giving you, the information that we have here. Right? So we'll see. We'll see. Notre Dame is not going to be a slouch. It will be a tough game. It will be a tough game. But I agree with Maurice. I think it comes down to which quarterback do you trust more. For me. Marcus' wife's still a freak, though. I can't speak on that. I don't know. She have an OnlyFans or something? Beck threw 12 interceptions against zone when teams dropped 6, 7, and 8. He could easily be TVD 2.0. I mean, it might be. He might be. Inked Kane says new defensive coordinator, new defense, no Cam. Offensive playmakers, wide receivers against a team that came in second place last year. Loss. Okay. All right. Make your voice heard. Vote in the poll. We're going to cut each of them off at about 5 minutes. I'll let this one go just a little bit longer because people are filing in since it's the beginning of the stream. Nick says ACC teams get no benefit of the doubt. Big Ten or SEC can do whatever, but our squads aren't getting brownie points for tough week 1 matchups. Very true. Very true. This is going to go down as a W for the community prediction. It is, isn't it? Miami would have lost to Notre Dame last year, and I don't see Miami improving that much from last year. Even with the freshman QB, you think Notre Dame is better in totality. All right. Did you put loss? Did you vote? Vote. Man, it's killing me that I can't pin y'all's comments. I'll get it fixed for the next stream. Don't worry. We'll have it fixed. YouTube threw me a freaking curveball with that, man. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, the live chat updated. Now you can't pin comments 5 minutes before I went live. You did put loss? Okay, there's no way, man. We're 6 minutes in. We're 6 minutes in, and it's 72% W. That's why I put it up here so people know I'm not lying. This is not my vote. I can't even vote in it. This is y'all's vote. So 72% of the viewers believe it will be a W. So Miami starting off the season with a win at home against Notre Dame. So we got the big fat green W over there. Game number 1. Make sure that you guys vote. That's the one thing I ask tonight. Make sure that you vote. Make it count. So rolling up into week number 2, Bethune-Cookman, I said it in my preview, and I'll say it again. If Miami ever loses to the Wildcats, fire everyone, cancel all of the NIL deals, shut down the football program, and just get rid of everything. And people laughed, and they said, Coop, you can't say that because, look at what happened with MTSU. Look at what happened with some of these messed up losses. It is Bethune-Cookman, bro. No disrespect. The squad went 2-10 last season. I don't even really want to waste my breath with breaking it down. It's Bethune-Cookman. Okay? Let's be real. You guys put your vote, though. You guys put your votes in. We'll go ahead and get it up there. Win or loss. This is one of my favorite streams, man. I look forward to this every year. because I love that you guys get to vote and make your voices heard. And then we get to compare. So I like seeing where the community stands. I think it's cool. So vote. They all count. It's 100% right now. It's 100%. Which Florida State fan or Georgia Tech fan is about to pop in here and put this bad boy down as a loss? Who's going to be the first one to do it? Because I know you're out there. I know you're out there. Just go ahead and hit the button. Even the most delusional fan knows this is a W. And by delusional fan, I mean fan of another team, of an opposing team. Yeah, see, even Nick said, I'm not that crazy, bro. Coop, come on. Florida State all day for Nick, and he's not going to put this down. There it is. There it is. Who was it? Who was it? Look, Miami dodges. I hate to put it that way, but it's true. Miami doesn't see Georgia Tech this season. Miami doesn't see Clemson. Miami doesn't see North Carolina. Talking about the regular season schedule here. But it's still pretty darn tough on paper right now when you look at this thing. But Miami misses some of those teams that historically have given them trouble, especially teams that really aren't even that great. They can be down and they still play Miami hard. Miami misses a lot of those teams. They're not on the schedule this season. Base Jones says, I'm not scared of Clemson. I'd favor Miami to beat them. Okay. Was it you, Katie? Who put that L? 31 votes. Get them in. Get them in. Was it Chris Gaffney? Was it Joel Davis? I don't know if Joel Davis is here, but I don't think that he's that crazy either. I don't think he would be that guy. He wouldn't do that. Let me test something real quick while you guys are voting. I'm going to try to pin Nick's comment and see if it will leave the poll up. Okay. It does. Good deal. So I can pin comments and leave the poll up. Awesome. Good to see you, Jesse Mock. And feel free, if you watch this stream after the fact, I have a feeling that's going to be the case because Saturday is not my day. It's usually Friday nights. That's when people are looking for the Coach Coop live streams. So this kind of popped up out of nowhere. Make your voice heard down in the comments. If you didn't watch mine and leave your thoughts on that, let me know it in this. Don't be shy. Are we really going to spend much more time on Bethune? I said 5 minutes. It's 89% to 11%. Let's be real here. Half the people here didn't even press the vote button because it's not needed. It's not needed. So let's end it. 89% have Miami winning, 10% a loss. We know who you are. Yeah, we know who you are. Moving on. Week 3, USF. The Bulls, huh? This team that was so hyped up last season, but ultimately went 6-6. Really, all you need to know is this game is going to be aired on the CW. That's right. The CW. I don't even know how to get that channel. Can you use rabbit ears to get it? Is this a cable thing? I honestly, I truly, I don't know. Quarterback Byron Brown will be returning. The Bulls had a pretty bad defense last year, and unfortunately for them, they play the Florida Gators the week before they play Miami. So is there a chance that they come in with their heads hanging low? I mean, they have a pretty tough schedule. They're going to have a bad start to the 2025 season. Head coach Alex Golish will be going into year 3. He went 7-6 and 7-6. in his first 2 seasons. We're talking about this includes bowl games and all that good stuff. So just mid is USF. Always very hyped. They're getting that new stadium. But I think fans are going to slowly get fed up with their head coach. We'll see if they continue to perform the way that they do. Now, they might have a bit of an explosive offense with Brown returning at the quarterback position. They have some athletes on the field, some fast guys. But do you think that they can hang with Miami. Their fan base will be confident as ever, just like they were last season. Remember, I brought on someone to represent USF, and he said, I'm super confident in this game. He said, this team is building faster than anything that you've ever seen before. And what happened? What happened? They played Alabama close until it wasn't. They started to play Miami close until they didn't. And we whooped that booty. Let's put up the poll. Let's put up the poll. I'm still not trying to influence you, I swear. I'm not trying to influence you in any way. You vote the way you want to vote. Coop is right sometimes and Coop is wrong sometimes. I'm not even telling you win or loss. I'm just giving you some facts. That's it. We got the sheets right here. Let the sheets tell you. Let the sheets speak. I'm just giving you some numbers. That's it. Let's see. You think the Canes go into the game 1-1? Okay. Don't think they'll get around Notre Dame. Should be a good game, though. I think it'll be a good game regardless. Yeah, no matter what the outcome is, I think it's going to be exciting. Talking about Miami, Notre Dame. Not so much Miami, USF. I don't think it's going to be a big, crazy game. There's a reason they're putting it on the CW. And yeah, you can say, Coop, that's disrespectful to Miami, but it takes two. It takes two. Miami could be super hyped, but if you're playing somebody else that's not, they're not putting that bad boy on prime time. It's not getting College Game Day. It's not how it works. Ceiling 12-0, floor 8-4. Okay. Really, I would want to see, what's interesting for me, Katie, is I want to see the numbers for every team. So I do know that if you replace a coordinator, you're obviously going to have some players leave because that's not the defense or offense they signed up to play in. So I expect, some extra departures due to that. But it would be interesting to run the numbers and compare Miami to all the other teams across the country and see the amount of portal players that were brought in and at what position, right? Because Miami eventually needs like a franchise quarterback. And people are high on, Darian Coleman and some of the other guys on the roster. But Miami needs a guy that can come in and play for 3 or 4 solid years, get some consistency. I'm a little bit worried, though, that this might be Dawson's last year. If they go in and Cam Ward comes in, I'm not going to sit here and argue about development or anything like that. The reality is Cam Ward played at Miami for 1 season in Shannon Dawson's offense, and he went first round. First pick in the NFL draft. If Carson Beck does something similar, I think that Shannon Dawson might accept a job somewhere else, even if it's a lower tier program, but it's like a head coaching job or something, right? Like you might want that title. You might want to work your way up the ladder if that's what Dawson wants to do. You wouldn't want to be an offensive coordinator at Miami forever. And if you have big time success like that with these quarterbacks, there are going to be, we saw it this last offseason, some schools were calling Dawson. So I think we'll see. But it'll be tough to have that consistency at, like quarterback and all that when successful coaches, man, position coaches and stuff, a couple years and they're bouncing. They're going somewhere else. See, and that's a fair take, Inked Kane, right? You think that Dawson is overrated and had nothing to do with the success last year. I mean, Cam Ward was something else. And it's why it was so unfortunate to lose the games that we did, because that's almost a once in a, not lifetime opportunity, but that only comes around once in a while. Rarely. When you have a player of that caliber, I mean, look at what the Tennessee Titans are saying about this guy in the mini camp and everything that he's doing there in the NFL already, in the practices and stuff. So you might be right, but I still think that let's say even Carson Beck carries the offense. There's still going to be a ton of schools picking up the phone and calling Shannon Dawson. And I think I almost get this vibe. Tell me if I'm wrong. I almost get this vibe that coaches don't want to hang around at Miami for too long because eventually it's going to go downhill. Don't get mad at me. All right? Don't get mad at me, but I feel like at some point, either the season is going to go downhill or you're going to start to struggle and have a hard time. And the next thing you know, you're getting canned. And then it's a bad look. Then you're applying and looking for places instead of places looking for you and picking up the phone and calling you, you know? So you kind of want to leave on a high note. You want to work your way up the ladder. So if Carson Beck comes out and throws the ball really well, Miami's offense is racking up numbers, you know, top 5 in the country in multiple categories even, he might be gone. But that's a different topic for another day, you know. If Dawson gets offered a lower power 4 job, it is generational money. You take the job. I agree. I agree. What's up, Yellow Kane? Make sure you vote, guys. Make sure you vote. You can't complain if you didn't vote. That's all I'm going to say. You can't complain if you didn't vote. If you don't agree with the majority, that's fine. But if you didn't put a vote in, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. A few years ago, I'd say that was due to lack of support from the AD and boosters. Maybe not so much anymore, though. Yeah. Very true, Cypher. All right, so USF, we're at the 5-minute mark. 94% of the community is giving Miami a W in that Bulls game. So you guys have Miami starting 3-0 in 2025. But now's when it's going to start getting interesting. Now's when we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty here. And remember, I want you to be real. I want you to be real, not wishful. I want you to put in what you think is going to happen. Somebody handed you $10,000. I don't know, I'm just pulling this out of my butt. Somebody handed you $10,000 and they said, all right, you got to put money line on this game. Now, right now in June. Who are you putting it on? Here we go. Miami versus Florida. Went 7-5 last season. QB DJ Lagway will be returning, most likely healthy. And they're very hyped about that quarterback. Very, very hyped. Now, Miami fans, of course, we kind of laugh because he did throw an interception against the Canes last year, and that defense was historically bad. But Florida fans are going to remind you that they ended the season on a high note. And they did. They had some positive momentum exiting 2024. But I would like to note that they play LSU the week before they play Miami in Baton Rouge. So just do whatever you wish with that information. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do not believe Carson Beck has ever lost to Florida as a starter anyways. He's played Florida multiple times. I don't think that he's ever lost to that team. You know, coming from the SEC, he has experience playing the Gators. Head coach Billy Napier going into year 4. He went 6-7, 5-7, then 8-5. So a little bit of a slip up in that second season. But if you count the bowl game and everything, 8-5 in 2024. They're hype, man. They're hype. It's the fan base that I don't know if it's just because I interact with them or the algorithm, you know, feeds me their tweets and stuff and their posts, but they are beyond confident. They are so cocky going into the 2025 season. And we already know. They've said within 24 hours after that game last year, they said this game didn't matter. If we would have played Lagway from the jump, we would have won. And they're clowning us, hey, y'all got Will Harris. They originally said, no, we don't want to lose that guy. Keep him here. Now we took him, and they said, well, look, our DBs got cooked by Xavier Restrepo. You guys were throwing the football all over us. Everybody looked confused on the back end. And guess who was coaching those guys up? Will Harris. We got you. That's what they say. That's what they say. So we'll see. We'll see. Let's put it up. What's up, Joe? Good to see you, bro. How you been? Y'all got to jump in here and let me know how you been. I've not talked to you guys in like a month. This is the big one. Vote with your brain. Win or loss. I'm going to leave this one up for a minute. Miami versus Florida. Here it is. Here it is. Be honest. Be real. Be real. I know they tried to flip it and pretend like they weren't Yalaha Kane, but they were, man. They were so upset about losing Harris. And I got the receipts. I got the bookmarks. Nah, Coop, I was just trolling y'all. I was just kidding. I didn't want that bum. Y'all are stuck with him now. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Vote, vote, vote. Win or loss. There it is. It's at the top of the chat. Make sure that you put your vote in. Don't worry if you're looking at this camera angle. The U is still over there. It's not the Tennessee Titans takeover or anything like that. We are talking some Titans football on my channel this year because I'm hyped to follow Cam Ward and Xavier Restrepo, and Restrepo's been popping off. We'll talk about that in some videos coming up, but the Titans coaches have been very impressed with him coming in as an undrafted free agent and what he's been doing. He's working hard. But the U is over there. The U is over there. Don't worry. Joe says back-to-back wins. This one will be a better game than last year. Okay. Make sure y'all vote. 34 votes. That means only half the people in this stream have voted so far. It should be at the top of your chat. Should be at the top of your chat. What's up, Lit City? How often in history has UM matched up against UF and FSU back-to-back games? It's a pretty good question. M. Lemon, the management. Good to see you. Oh, we saw a little bit of a shift there. Okay. And that is wild, Space Mountain. You know, we've touched on that a little bit. Miami doesn't even leave the state of Florida until November. And first away game is Doak Campbell Stadium, Florida State, off of a bye week. So first 4 games you open at home, don't have to leave Hard Rock, and don't even leave the state of Florida till November. It's wild. But now, you know, there's some pros and cons to that because I hope Miami doesn't get shocked a little bit. You know, November rolls around. What does Miami do historically? Struggle in the November games. What happens November 1st, the first day of the month? A game in Dallas, Texas against a Rhett Lashley-led SMU. But more on that in a minute. We're on Florida. What's up, Mr. Whisker? BT Hokie versus Miami Hurricanes will be the game of the year. I don't know. Are y'all feeling good, Mr. Whisker? Kyron Drones returning. We'll talk about it. The Baby Lizards will be mediocre at best this year. I'm going to clap it up for that one. I don't know, man. I think Florida can win. I think Florida can win like 8. I do think Florida will be better overall, but their schedule, man, it's always kind of rough. It's kind of like the Tennessee Volunteers. I always say their schedule is tough, man. When you're consistently playing like Bama, LSU, Ole Miss, it's like some of these big teams, man, it's tough. It's tough. Sean says 12-0 season loading. Okay. I like the confidence. If Beck gets hurt, what does it look like then? We're screwed. Because then you got to throw a young guy in there. Most likely. I don't know. I mean, unless you... I don't know if I want to get too deep into the quarterback discussion, but you know what I'm getting at. DJ Lagway greater than Carson Beck. Are we talking overall? Overall? I mean, DJ Lagway is more mobile than Carson Beck. I don't think that will be a problem necessarily if Miami's O-line continues to hold up. Miami has still been, recruiting, bringing in some big bodies up front. So I'm really not scared to play these SEC teams. I used to be. Bro, I used to be. I said, LSU, we're done. Florida, well, game over. We can't hang with those guys. Miami has the speed, but they never properly utilize it. Now, Miami can kind of win the battles in the trenches. Miami has some great running backs. They can pound the rock if they need to. They can provide some protection for Carson Beck. But it will be interesting to see. because Cam Ward still brought that aspect to his game to where he could make guys miss and he could extend the play. You're not going to see that quite as much from Carson Beck. So if their D-line gets after it, man, and the O-line's not playing their best game, it could be a bit of a problem. Yeah. Okay, so it's 81% win, 19% loss. I'll give y'all one more minute. One more minute. Beck does have a turnover problem, though. Now, there are some tendencies, in my opinion, that carry over, but this is a different offense. So we'll see if he looks any different. Wow, y'all are going to put it down as a W. Now, I saw at the beginning of the stream a lot of people in here saying that they were not very optimistic, that they felt like Miami was going to take a step back. So I wonder if y'all are going to start hitting me with L's in the ACC gauntlet here. Is that what we're thinking? Carson is more mobile than given credit. I mean, he can. He can. Probably not like Cam Ward, but he can move. I mean, to be fair, going into 2024, what did we hear? Cam Ward made the worst decision of his life. Cam Ward has a fumbling problem. Cam Ward has an interception problem. And again, he went first round, first pick in the NFL draft. Threw for the second most yards in college football last season. I think was number 1 in touchdowns or number 2. He was somewhere around in that neighborhood. Had a heck of a year. Don't you think Mario's good for 2 losses by himself? There are a couple of games where Miami might get outcoached, yeah. I still don't think Mario's a great game day coach. I mean, that's proven. Okay, so 7 minutes in. We'll end it. Final tally here. Is 80% win, 19% loss. Marking down the Florida game officially for the community as a W. Oh, buddy. Okay, so 4-0. 4-0 from the community prediction here. Next up is a bye week. We're going to put that down as a W or an L. I don't know. I'm still not a huge fan of bye weeks. We broke the bye week curse last year. Heck, won both of them. And, that had been a problem not just for Mario, but going back to previous head coaches as well. I don't know that Manny Diaz ever won a game off of a bye week. So we all kind of have PTSD from that, but that should be fixed now, right? A bye week going into this Florida State game is great news. I really like that a lot. First game, away game, going in, you get an extra opportunity here to rest up and play Florida State. A team that went 2-10 last season, breaking records. And boy, oh boy, not in a good way. They did pick up the transfer quarterback, Thomas Castellanos from Bethune-Cookman, who, as much as I give him a hard time, everyone jokes about his height and all that. And I'm going to jump in there and troll as well. Believe me. He's going to be better than Dudu DJ. 100%. I think he'll be a better fit for that offense. And I mean, Florida State made some changes on the coaching side, right? They have a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator, Gus Malzahn. What did I say? Did I say Bethune? Boston College. Yeah, Boston College. And it would be funny if they took a Bethune quarterback. Imagine Mike Norvell goes out and they get Gus Malzahn as new OC. And then they're like, guess what, y'all? We set up $1 million deal with this Bethune-Cookman quarterback. He's going to be a game changer, man. They'd be pissed. Yep. So some new faces. Some new faces on the sideline for Florida State. I think they'll be better, bro. They're not going to have another 2-10 season. Do we agree? And I don't mean, I'm not kind of baiting you into it, and then I'm going to say they're going to go 1-11. I think they will. I know they will have a better year this year. It's going to be the newly renovated Doak Campbell Stadium. I will be there. Hopefully a bunch of you will be there. We're doing the Doak takeover this season, so that's going to be a really good time. That Miami can't lose if we're in the building, right? A Doak. Come on now. Mike Norvell is going into year 6. He went 3-6, but that was COVID year, so I don't really judge any coach off of the COVID year. That was such a curveball for everybody. 3-6, 5-7, 10-3, 13-1, and then whoa, the big bomb, 2-10. But we praise Mario Cristobal for making changes when there are areas that seem like they need improvement, and Mike Norvell did that. He addressed that in the offseason. Let's put up the poll. Put up the poll. Remember, I'm not asking you to say what you hope will happen. I'm asking you that if you were to put money on it, your life savings on it, are you saying W or L in June? That's what I'm asking. Yeah, I saw a lot of people, Florida State fans, that said they were not big, that they weren't high on the renovations. I think it's because they removed an area. There was some sections where people had season tickets and they'd had them for a long time, and I think they upped the price, or they had to move or something. I don't want to speak for these people, but there were a lot of unhappy Florida State fans. Yeah. So place your votes. Come on. Win or loss. Right there. Let's see what the community thinks. Let's see what y'all got. Be honest, Randy. Be honest. Good to see you, Orange and Green Blood. Can't talk. They upped it. Yeah, man. Some people were big time mad. Big mad over that. I'm not going to lie. I think Gus Malzahn coaching up the offense will be very good for them. I think it will be. CJ says loss. Former Mississippi State head coach as a defensive analyst. It's a good point. Some extra information from Nick. Still very heavy on the wins. Come on, get the votes in, guys. We're not even at 50% people voting. Come on. Nope, don't be scared. It's anonymous. If you are the Miami fan that says, you know what, Coop, I got to go with my brain. It's telling me it's going to be a loss. I don't want to do it. I don't want people to pick on me and make fun of me and the fan police jump in my booty. Nobody's going to know what you put. It's anonymous. Nobody knows. Click that win. Click that loss. Put it in. Lock it in. Come on, let's see. Let's see. Hopefully, I'm just being real. Hopefully, Florida State is better this season. You know, we talk about how much this schedule looks difficult on paper, but it's easy to say that right now, that these teams are going to be better, right? They could start out and say, you know what? SMU is 15th in the country right now. Well, we all know how the rankings and stuff go before the season even starts, right? They might lose 4 in a row to start the season out of the top 25. And it's, you know, it just can be so wildly different. It's so unpredictable. So I know we only have a little bit of information to go off of. We can look at last year, factor in the changes, and just talk about what we think will happen. Just like I said, people have been dogging me when they say it's a guarantee that the defense will be better under Heatherman. We're hoping it'll be better. There's no guarantee, period. I make a lot of jokes about we won't lose this game or it's impossible. Nothing's impossible. You know, do I think the defense improves under Heatherman? Yeah, I think so. I think Guidry, man, even if it was more of a player issue, you got to be able to help those guys out and put them in the best situation to win games. You know, I'm just saying that there's no guarantees, right? Anything can happen. 81% win. Where the Florida State fans at? I thought y'all would be jumping in here hammering that loss for Miami. Is it just Nick? Is Nick the Lone Ranger here representing the Garnet and Gold? Always a struggle for some of the game time, but we win this one as well, Coop. Okay, Yalaha not ashamed to put out how Yalaha feels. Putting it out there in the chat. %79% win. I'll give it one more minute. One more minute, and the voting will be closed. But yeah, I said all that to say this. I hope that they are better because Miami needs some quality wins. Nobody cares if you whoop up on a team that wins 2 football games. Literally, no one cares. So we need to play some teams that are good, that win some solid football games to make our win over them look that much better. We need it. You want to be the best, you got to play the best and beat the best. Okay, so we got another Florida State fan here, Goat Fox 0. FSU fan, but I have no problem stating that Miami will most likely beat us this year. All right. So we'll end the poll here. 79% believe the Florida State game will be a win for the Canes. 20% said loss. So another W. Another W. So here's where things start to get a little icky for me. Another bye week? I can't talk about this enough. Florida State sandwiched in between bye weeks here? Give me that first one. But you're telling me they couldn't give Miami a bye week after SMU or Syracuse? Something late in the season? This is absolutely terrible for the Miami Hurricanes, and I think that it might end up hurting them. I really think it could, and there's a couple reasons why. I mean, this leads into a Friday game. A Friday game against Louisville. A Jeff Brom coached Louisville team. Friday scares me. It scares me a lot. I'll be honest here. But Louisville went 8-4 last season. They did pick up a transfer portal quarterback, Miller Moss from USC, who has a good amount of experience under his belt. They'll also get a bye week before they play Miami, but not this weird sandwiched situation like we're dealing with. Again, Friday night game, weekday. It'll be nighttime because it's a Friday, so it will be a night game. Jeff Brom is going into year 3. He went 10-4 and then 9-4. But we all know the saying, you just got Brommed. I think he's a pretty decent head coach. It'll be interesting to see how the Miller Moss situation plays out in the quarterback position. But it's Friday. It is at home, at least. So Miami has to play in Doak, but then turns around and comes back to Hard Rock for their second ACC game of the season. This is a Louisville team that they're possibly ranking before the season starts here, so they might have a little bit of hype. They don't really play anybody great before they play Miami. I would like to mention that. Let me tell you the teams they play before they play Miami. So they play in order: Eastern Kentucky, James Madison, bye week, Bowling Green, Pitt, Virginia, bye week, then Miami. So Pitt in there might, we'll see. Virginia, but then before that, Bowling Green, James Madison, Eastern Kentucky. Miami definitely the best team that they'll see up until they get to us. These other teams just, Let's put up the poll. But I can't stress enough how much a Friday game always scares me. I hate weekday games. It throws off the routine. You know, like bye weeks can be good if placed well because you need an opportunity to recover and kind of reset sometimes mentally and physically. But doing them so close together, again, I think hurts Miami more than it helps. And then to turn around and go off of that, and you have that routine. If you do this on this day, this on that day, you go in, it's about repetition. And then you throw that Friday night game in there off of the second bye week. I don't like it. Oh, I don't like it at all. So it does worry me. Katie says Louisville went heavy portal this year as well. Yeah, they tried to reload. Yo, we're almost 50-50 right now. Place your votes. Place your votes. I'll give you 5 minutes to think about it. I'll give you a minute. Put your vote in there. We'll see what everybody thinks. Right now, the community has the Canes at 5-0. 5-0 to start this season. You have a good bit of Knowles followers. We do. There's a lot of Florida State fans that watch this channel. I'm very well aware that I've not went live in a month, and I popped up and went live on a Saturday, which is not my regular day on top of it. So I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of views that happen after this live stream is over, and people are going to chime in the comments. We're going to get back to it. It's time now to get into the hypotheticals. I'm thinking next week we might do the ACC tier list stream like we did last year, where basically what we do is we have ACC championship contender, and then we'll go through and you know how tier lists work, and we'll rank every ACC team. It's pretty difficult to do, but it's fun to talk about, to get reactions from the community and see where you guys think some of these teams stand, and fill that whole thing out, see what we think. I miss doing them, Lamar. Just had a lot going on, and off season's tough. Typically we would have already been live multiple times with virtual season games, and it threw everything off, man. It threw everything off, but I miss hanging out with y'all. Should be regular videos and streams every week from here until football season, though. Should be. Gators going to get y'all this year. I hope you voted, Jaden. I hope you voted. Through the effing smoke. Let's go, Canes 2025. It's almost here, man. It's almost here. Make sure you vote 60-40 right now. 60-40. Can't complain if you didn't vote. You can't complain. What if it's 50-50? We'll sit here until it's not. 50-50 tiebreaker is a loss. Mario is the coach. That one hurts, Nick. That one hurts. You love the Titans flag in the back? Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm actually going to a Titans game. This year, it'll be my first ever NFL game. Have you guys ever been to an NFL game? I've never been to a pro football game in person before, and I'm excited. I'll be going to Nashville. It'll be the Titans versus Jaguars, and I'm pretty pumped. It's late November. I think it's like November 30th. It'll be the day after the Miami Pitt game. So, yeah, November 30th. It'll be my first ever NFL game. I'm excited. Vote, 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 vote. The gap is growing here. 62% win, 38% loss. Top of the chat. Top of the chat. Put your votes in. You been to a Bucks game, Jake? Is it a jump scare when they fired the cannons? I feel like it would be. Like, you probably love it as a Buccaneers fan, but I feel like I'd jump every time. You've never been to a college game, JT? Do you want to go to one? Now, Miami did beat Louisville last year, if that matters to you. I don't speak too much on what happened the previous year because look at the changes. It's a totally different quarterback for Miami, new defensive coordinator. Louisville has some changes, but you are right. Miami did beat Louisville in somewhat of a shootout last year. It was too close for comfort, but Miami did get the W. You went to Atlanta to see the 49ers play. Did they win? What's up, Colton? Patiently waiting for this season to start. Hope you're doing well. Just bought your war jersey. Let's go, man. Hey, tighten up, bro. Tighten up, my man. I love it. They're conditioned to shoot those things when they score. I guess that's true. Jake says he loves it. All right, 30 more seconds, y'all. This one was close for a minute. It was close for a minute, but as more votes came in, it's a win. It's a win. I don't think we're going to see it. I don't think we're going to see it change here. 64% win, 36% loss. Well, y'all are confident. All right, let's end it. There it is. It's official. The community is predicting. Yeah, I went to a Braves game, man, and they freaking lost. Man, they had Cattell Marte hit 2 homers off of Strider. Corbin Carroll hit 2 homers. It was a bad day, but a good experience. Good experience. And believe it or not, I don't want to speak his name because I don't know if he wants that out there. It was a Florida State fan that gave me tickets for the Atlanta Braves game. So shout out to the generosity from these Florida State fans, man. Showing Coop a lot of love. And we're enemies on game day, but I've met some really cool people, including Florida State fans. He hooked me up. I got to take my nephews. Truist Park was gorgeous, man. Absolutely loved being there. It was great weather, really good timing. But they did lose to the Diamondbacks. It was rough. Yep. So there we go. A W for Louisville as well. So moving on to the Stanford game, a team that went 3-9 in 2024. This is a pretty bad football team. I'll just be brutally honest. Some young QBs, not the best depth. And they had this weird situation with the coaching where they have an NFL experienced guy, but he's going to be the interim coach for just the 2025 season. So they hired him, but they hired him knowing that they're going to continue to do a coaching search in 2025. And no matter how successful he might be, it is a 1-year deal. It's a one and done. And that's so weird to me. That's so weird. So I don't know if you want to factor that in, if that makes a difference or not. Again, the guy has experience, especially in the pros. I'm trying to remember what teams it was. It might have been the Colts and what's his name? His name is Frank something. Frank Rick. Let me see. It was Colts and somebody. Yeah, dude has been all over the NFL. All over the NFL. So this is going to be Stanford's coach for one season. He's been with the Colts, the Cardinals, the Chargers, the Eagles. He was the Colts head coach for a while, 2018 to 2022. Panthers for one season. Again, interim coach, 1 year, 2025. And then he's out. And he's out. So let's put out the poll. Put out the poll. Miami versus Stanford. We get our shot at the team that is new to the ACC. Well, second year. Not new, but second year. What are y'all thinking? What are y'all thinking? In the days of playing down to our opponent, you would have been worried about this, but not now. Orange and Green Blood says a win by 21. Oh, baby. Yeah, you are right. I'm not quite as worried about playing down to the opponent. Miami has their teams that they struggle with just anyways. Georgia Tech. But again, we don't play that. We don't play them this year. Patty with a hockey update. Cats up 3-0. I can't believe that dude that's all over social media that has that bet on DraftKings. Have you guys seen that? He put $13. $13 on some future, champions. He has OKC winning. I think he has the Oilers winning. They offered him $100K cash out, and he's not taking it yet. It got as low as like $58K, and he said, "No, I'm not taking it." $13 to $100K. I'm sorry, but I feel like you're an idiot if you don't take that. No matter how confident you are. If the Thunder win it and the Oilers win it, I think he wins 270K. That's more than double. But bro, 13 to 100K. How often can you do that in sports betting? That's insane. And if the Panthers win, it's game over. This dude's gonna get next to nothing. Huge mistake. They've been interviewing him, and he's like, "Yeah, but they're flying me out to the games, and they're taking care of me, and I'm getting this publicity." Bro, take your $100,000. What is wrong with you? That's just me, though. That's just me. Make sure you vote. Come on, even if you feel like it's a guaranteed dub, put your vote in. Put your vote in. Right now, it's 100% win, 0% loss. You don't understand a thing about hockey. Me neither, Katie. I just know that you want to put the puck in the net. And sometimes they punch each other. That's about all I know. They have some sort of like bonus time where one side can have an extra player on the ice. I don't know. I struggle to follow hockey. I've been to a hockey game. I've been to a Dallas Stars game, and I've been to a Knoxville Ice Bears game. And it was fun to like experience the vibes. You know, it's still a sports event. Like, you know, people are hyped up and stuff. I didn't know what was going on most of the time. I had no idea. Not a hockey guy. I'm not a hockey guy, and I'm not a soccer guy. Soccer's too much back and forth just to get down near the goal and nothing happen. Can you ice skate? Absolutely not. No, I cannot. I used to be able to rollerblade. We have this place around here where we live called Skate Town. And I used to go there and rollerblade some, but that's when I was young. But yeah, I'm not a hockey guy, not a soccer guy, but I do love baseball now, man. I've been so locked in with baseball. It's so much fun. It's a little bit of a slower sport, and I enjoy it a lot. I enjoy it a lot. We're waiting. We got 2 more minutes on Stanford. I don't even know if we should keep waiting though, because nobody's voting loss. It's all win. This one, it's not even up for a debate here. It's not even close. Okay. All right. Still a ton of confidence from the fan base here. Let's just go ahead and end it. Let's end it. We're going to put down a W for Stanford. Baseball's boring. I used to love it, then thought it was boring. Now I love it again. Weird, I know. SMU. Here we go. Here we go. Now it's about to get exciting. 11-1, talking regular season here. 11-1 in 2024, but did play in the ACC championship game, lost. Did play in the college football playoffs, lost. But that's still a heck of an accomplishment. Let's be real here. That was their first year in the ACC, in the conference that we, Miami, play in, and they made it to the conference championship game. I can't even hate. I can't. And most Miami fans were a fan of Rhett Lashley and might have even been okay with retaining him and keeping him as the offensive coordinator. But it doesn't matter because that's in the past. Quarterback Kevin Jennings will be returning, and he's going to be backed up. He's going to be backed up by Tyler Van Dyke. They got TVD on the squad. It's the reunion that we all knew was going to happen at some point. I know that Tyler went to Wisconsin for a little bit. We knew there was going to be some way Tyler Van Dyke and Rhett Lashley were going to link back up, even if it was after Tyler's college career and he went to be some sort of analyst or, I don't know, something, they were going to link back up. But Kevin Jennings is returning. Rhett Lashley's a big fan of him, can work some magic with him, so he'll probably play. But in total, it's year 4 for Rhett Lashley. Let's not forget that. It's year 4 for him as SMU's head coach. 7-6, 11-3, 11-3. And here we are now in 2025. I want to make note, this is that first game outside of the state of Florida. So Miami does travel to Dallas, Texas. This is also a November game. That November gauntlet, November games have not been kind to Miami, but more specifically late in November. I think Rhett Lashley is a great game day coach. Is it fair to say, do you guys think Lashley is a better game day coach than Mario Cristobal? I'm not asking you if you think he's a better coach overall. I'm asking you, who do you think is the better game day coach? Rhett Lashley or Mario Cristobal? I believe it's probably Rhett Lashley. That doesn't mean that they're guaranteed to win or anything like that, because, you've got a surrounding cast. You have your coordinators and other guys on the sideline. So it's not just about the head coach, but I think if it came down to the head man and you want one of them to make a split-second decision during the game, I think Rhett Lashley is a little bit better equipped to make the right call, to make the best call. It just is what it is. I think most people don't shy away from the fact that Mario Cristobal's not the best game day coach. He's had his mistakes and embarrassing blunders that, we still get clowned for to this day. But anyways, Mill retired Go Canes. What's up? This is probably the one that I was most curious where you guys stand. I'm not trying to persuade you. I want you to put what you want, what you believe. Miami versus SMU, win or loss. Poll will pop up at the top of the chat like it's done for the entire stream. Place your votes. Place your votes. Retired Go Canes says Rhett Lashley just straight up better head coach. Okay. All right. You forgot TVD was at SMU. Imagine, I would not want this to happen. We do not wish injuries on anyone. Imagine Kevin Jennings gets hurt at some point and Tyler Van Dyke is the starting quarterback for the Miami game. Bro, if they came out and Lashley worked some magic with Tyler Van Dyke and he lit up Miami's defense, I'd be so pissed. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know how I'd feel. It'd be really bad, though. It'd be really freaking bad. So here we go. Place your votes. Place your votes. We only got 18 so far. Let's at least get 50%. Can we get 25 to 30 votes? Win or loss, purely anonymous. 56% win, 44% loss. Come on. Come on. Put them in. Put them in. If you want to discuss it, if you have questions about it, put it in the live chat. Let's talk it out. Let's talk about it. You thought I said retired cocaine. SMU versus Miami. Winner plays Clemson in ACC title game. It seems to be, most people seem to think that it's going to be Clemson in the ACC championship game again this season. And I have to say that I probably agree. They are probably going to be in it. You'll be inconsolable. Yeah. Picture Tyler Van Dyke in an SMU uniform throwing a bomb for a touchdown on Miami's defense. Oh, man. I wouldn't be able to sleep for at least a couple days. Dang, it'd be bad. What's up, Edwin? Good to see you, bro. VT is your dark horse in the ACC. I'm surprised because there was one or two Virginia Tech fans in here that are fairly confident. When you go look around online at like the sites and stuff that cover Virginia Tech, they're not very high on the team. Most of them have Virginia Tech as a 6 to 8 win team. in 2025. Here we go. We're going to let it go for 5 minutes, but Win is starting to pull ahead by a lot here. By a lot. 62% win, 38% loss. Y'all are going to have Miami starting 8-0? Oh, buddy. Okay. All right. Hey, I respect it. This is your guys' way too early prediction. I don't have a say-so here. I'm hands off. I'm just seeing what you guys put. SMU had momentum last year and an easy schedule. So SMU's schedule, I think, is a little more difficult this year. Let's take a quick peek at it. So SMU in 2025 is going to open with East Texas. They have Baylor, Missouri State, TCU. But then after the bye week, they play Syracuse, Stanford, Clemson. So they're going to see Clemson in the regular season here. Wake Forest, Miami, Boston College, Louisville, and then Cal. So finishing off with the two ACC games there off of the bye week. Let's see. They play Clemson at Memorial Stadium. But they get Louisville at home. They do have to travel to play Cal. TCU won't really matter. I mean, it's both of them there in Texas. I don't know. Maybe their schedule's not quite as tough as I thought. All right, well, keep voting. Keep voting. We'll see what y'all think. That's what matters. It doesn't matter what I think right now. It's SMU's homecoming, right? It might be. It might be 59-41. I'll give y'all one more minute. Let's see. Your reasoning is strictly because of their quarterback. He was good and tough last year, but that's why they may be good, but probably not. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Our schedule is tougher. Studio One Live, definitely. Yeah, definitely tougher than SMU's schedule. I agree. I can't emphasize enough how much the November games terrify me. I don't usually like to say that I'm scared. It sounds kind of silly, but I worried for sure. Yeah. Looks like it's gonna be a W from y'all. Looks like it's gonna be a W here. All right, 57% win, 43% loss. I think this was the closest ratio so far, but it is going down as a W. Oh, buddy. Okay. So here we go. Next up, we get Syracuse at home. This is a team that, unfortunately, we have really bad memories of from last year. They went 9-3. But here's the great news. Quarterback Kyle McCord is gone. I think that Syracuse is who I was thinking of, not SMU. You know, the S's got them mixed up. They have a pretty tough schedule. They're now going to have limited experience in their quarterback room. This is year 2 for Fran Brown. He went 10-3 if you count the bowl game. What do y'all got? Is this a revenge game? Do you think that even matters? I know a lot of people say, you know, it's a new year. It's a different team. What happened last season doesn't really matter. The current team doesn't care really what happened because some of those guys weren't even on the squad. You know, Carson Beck has no extra hate for Syracuse. He wasn't a Miami Hurricane when Miami blew the 21-point lead last year. Win-loss, Miami-Syracuse. Put it in. Put it in. If we undefeated, I think the revenge factor kicks in for sure. Okay. Jake says it's for blood. W. Star says yes. All right, vote. Vote, vote, vote. That's what matters. I mean, Fletcher is still here. There are other guys on the squad that will be here that played last year that remember the pain and the hurt from blowing that lead. There's going to be a lot of eyes on Heatherman in this game because we know that the defensive side of the ball is what really screwed us in that one. I mean, the offense came out and went up 21-0, and then we just continued to give up big plays to the quarterback that had the most passing yards in college football in 2024. The only guy that beat out Cam Ward was Kyle McCord. But again, he's gone. Not there anymore. You didn't get the SMU game. Yalaha, when you hear this, you might be behind a little on the stream. Maybe. I don't know for sure. But you might want to make sure it's all the way, the live is lit up and you're all the way caught up. You might be behind a little bit. Vote, vote, vote. We're coming up on the tail end of this thing, guys. After this, we have 3 more. 3 more, and then it's a wrap. And then what we'll do, I'm assuming most of you have seen my most recent video where I did my way too early season prediction. But if you didn't, I'm going to pop it up on the screen. And we're going to have side-by-side comparison. Coop's way too early season prediction versus your way too early season prediction. And we'll see. I'm checking something on my end real quick, so ignore me for just a second if you hear an echo. I'm just checking something here. Okay, so y'all don't think I need to turn my mic up at all? I'm loud enough for you guys? That's what I was trying to check, just making sure that it sounded fine. Because I've changed my whole setup in basically the month hiatus of not live streaming. I kind of redid. I redid some stuff, and I need to tweak it. But as long as y'all don't think I need to turn it up, then we're good. I kind of wanted to put it where I don't have to eat it all the time. It's such a gain-hungry mic. And usually you want this mic like right under your mouth. And I'm getting tired of it being in my face, Getting spit all over it and stuff. Vote. Vote, vote, vote. 88% win, 12% loss. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I am going to be shocked if the community comes together and votes and has it as an undefeated season. I will be really surprised. I think I know what the sneaky game is for most of the viewers here. I think I know what it is, but I'm not saying a thing. I'm not going to say anything. Marquise says Cuse might strike twice. You hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong too. I hope you're wrong. I hope that they actually have kind of a tough time overall this season. I talk about wanting to play really good teams, but I would love to just stomp a mud hole in Syracuse after what happened last year. It's all on Miami. It's Miami's fault, especially Lance Guidry and the defense. But I would love to just beat the heck out of them. I don't know, Nick. I don't know. I'm not going to say. We'll let this go for 5 minutes. Let's finish strong. Let's get as many votes as possible here. First stream back in a month. Let's pop off. Let's get those votes in there. Most people say Mario Cristobal is good for 1 loss. So is it coming? Is it coming? Or do you guys think that this is truly the undefeated season? Miami has continued to climb year after year. 10 wins. 10 wins in 2024. Ended in disappointment, but double-digit wins. More than the previous year. And the year before that. And the year before that. Going into year 4. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. Going for unanswered to UNC. Yep. All right, we'll wrap it up. Syracuse as a dub. 86% win, 13% loss. I'm locking in the W. There we go.
This is what it take.
My man Duck.
To wear the U on the side of your helmet.
Appreciate the live.
Duck, thank you so much for the love. Let me see if this thing still works. It's been a while. The switch is turned on. I just put new D batteries in it. Let's try and see. The mullet run! I can't hear it on my end, so I don't know if it worked or not. The mullet run, I'll sit you up there. Biggest D of the night is the mullet run. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I was looking forward to this stream all week. I was ready to get back in the saddle, you know, and then actually do some hypothetical stuff. After a while, you kind of get sick of the hypotheticals. You know, what if this? What if that? This might happen. This could happen. But I was ready. I was ready to dive in. Now, I want to try something. I'll have the pinning thing fixed. So you guys remember, if you're a regular on my channel, how typically top right-hand corner, I would pin the top dono. Just to give you a shout out. Some thanks. You know, obviously I appreciate everybody, but I do want to shout out the people who contribute. And it's bugged at the moment. It's bugged at the moment, so I can't pin it up there. But I got you up as biggest D, top donation. So thank you, Duck. Thank you, my man. So there it is. A W for Syracuse as well. Moving on to NC State. Feels like we haven't seen these guys in a minute. The Wolfpack. 6-6 in 2024. They do get a bye week before playing Miami, if that matters to you. Head coach Dave Doran. I had to double check, and then I wanted to triple check this. Going into year 13 as their head coach. He's kind of a fan favorite, but I'm going to be honest. This could potentially be a hot take, and I'm probably in the minority. I think there's a chance he is in the hot seat after this season, or he's fired. I know that they recently extended him to 2029, but I think the fan base is going to kind of get tired of they're going to get tired of just kind of being mediocre, just kind of hovering in the middle, because last year was the lowest win total for him since 2019. So I think that it might be time for a change for NC State. But what about this year? This is at Hard Rock, but again, we're in middle of November here. Can Miami lock in and continue to take care of business like you guys believe? They would be hot going into that game, man. Undefeated. You know, we have to assume that everybody's healthy. Everybody's fine. Miami versus NC State. Win or loss. This is the final home game of the season for the Canes. So could they send the seniors out with a bang? Place your votes. Place your votes. I agree, Katie. I made a little comment on social media in a little group where NC State fans were talking about the season, and they said absolutely not. They said, Coop, you're out of your mind to say that Dave Doran's could be on the hot seat. And I said, I think he's already on it. If they win like 6 games, 7 games in 2025, it just, there comes a point in time where the fan base is like, all right, we need something to change. And it's so rare in today's times for coaches to be somewhere for a decade or longer. It's like, 3 to 5. Maybe if you're a good head coach, like 5 to 7. But I think they'll want to change. And I think there's a good chance that's about where they hover around, is like 6 wins, 7 wins. Maybe they shock us. I don't know, but I don't think so. Not for NC State. Place your votes, though. Place your votes. It does matter, because if we look back at this, and we say, wow, the community was right. Y'all hit the nail on the head. Well, if you didn't vote, you can't say that. Straight up. You can't say that. Or if the poll is, I'm just making up numbers here, 99% win and 1% loss, and Miami loses that game, you could come back and be like, I was the 1%. I was that guy that said loss, and y'all didn't listen. So make your voice heard. Make your voice heard. I know it's anonymous, but put it in there. I get that, but they can make the academics work for the football prestige. Oh, I missed your previous comment. As a programmer football team this year, Georgia Tech is in a better location, but the results haven't come. Georgia Tech, in my honest opinion, and I have said this, is a sleeping giant. Oh. I mean, look, I'll say it, Nick. I don't want to make it sound like I'm running or hiding from a team, but it's almost kind of a blessing that Georgia Tech is not on the schedule this year for us. They'll find a way, bro. They'll find a way to beat us. Straight up. I know it was a historically bad defense for Miami. But, man, Georgia Tech threw the football 16 times. And even when they did, it was with it's insane. It's insane. Georgia Tech's got our number. And I guess I don't want the smoke. I guess I don't want the smoke. CJ might clip this and put it out there. But, man, I don't know. Yeah, like North Carolina, man. Like every time, man. Doesn't matter what we have going on. Can we do this again right before the season starts? We will. Yes. So, interaction and hype. I don't want to downplay it for the people that are here, but it's relatively low in June because we still have a couple months to go before college football is officially here, right? So the people that are here and watching this after the fact are the diehards. There are people that miss because of work and whatever else, but you get what I'm saying. The people that are here right now eat, sleep, and breathe college football because you're willing to talk about it when everything's just on paper right now. We don't know. It's hypotheticals. We're bored and we want to talk some football, and we wish that it was here already. The point is, this is the way too early season prediction. But then we do another one in August as it gets a little closer, as the hype intensifies, and maybe there's some more news. Maybe there's a couple more changes, here and there. It'll still all be on paper at the end of the day, which is why we do week-to-week predictions. But I like to have them as two separate entities, their own thing. So were you closer with your way too early prediction when you really didn't have anything to go off of? Or were you closer as the season approached and you had time to process some things and you maybe changed your mind a bit? Along with week-to-week predictions. I don't know why. I've been doing this 9 years. Everybody has their own unique approach to it, but I don't know why people seem to struggle to understand that those things can be their own separate thing. Like, you guys get it, right? I will do an official final season prediction late August. Every single year when I put it out, people say, why'd you do that? You already put out a prediction. I was like, yes, it's a, look at the title. It's way too early season prediction. We're trying to have some fun and talk college football. Well, you already put it in. It don't count. Or I'll have people week to week with the games, and they'll say, Coop, you already did your season prediction. Why even do the preview videos? Why put out another prediction? Well, because then we start to see the games played and we find out what these teams are made of. And you probably want to adjust it a little bit once you get an idea. I know that right now, you could put W or L up on a dartboard, close your eyes, spin around 3 times, and throw that dart at it and have just as much of a chance to get it right, in my opinion. Because it's early, man. It's early. When will the simulated season start? July, probably July 7th or 10th. So kind of the second week of July. We were forced into a bad spot because of the new game, and we can't edit the rosters. So that's where we're at. Ah, the Father's Day present. I got you. I got you, bro. Your Canes are on. We're on the tail end of it. Then you can take care of business. You know. So NC State, y'all have it as a dub. 90-10. 90-10. Not even close. Okay. All right. I'm with you. I got you. Okay. 10-0. 10-0. But now it's time to take things on the road to close out this season here. Virginia Tech, Lane Stadium. We're talking a potential night game in Blacksburg. That's not a guarantee, but they're probably going to want to hype this one up a little bit. 6-6 for the Hokies in 2024. Kyron Drones is back. Miami escaped with a victory last year. Let's call it what it is. There was, some things that happened in that game, but Miami got the job done. This is year 4 for Brent Pry, who went 3-8 in his first season, then followed that up with 7-6, and then went 6-7. Late November. Miami, under Mario Cristobal, typically loses half their games in November. If it's a 4-game spread, we have 5 this year. It's typically 4. They're around 2-2 or 1-3. It's been pretty rough in November. And again, if they hype this game up, I'm not trying to persuade you, but this game's a little scary. Could it be cold? It's November. Put it up there. Put it up there. Win or loss in the cold, man. It matters. It matters, I'm telling you. All right, there it is. Vote. Vote, vote, vote. Boom. Miami versus Virginia Tech. The win or loss for Miami. What does the community think? Let's see it. Some of y'all are being too shy. I get the vibe that some people are scared to put their vote in, which is shocking. Come on. We're college football fans. We talk trash. We get rowdy. We get in there and we cry and complain when stuff doesn't go our way. We're passionate, man. Get in there and put in your vote. It's always at night up there. I feel like they would make it a night game. Why not? The whole Enter Sandman thing, everybody's jumping up and down, waving their little towels or whatever it is that they do. Fireworks going off as the team's entering the stadium. It'd be pretty hype. It'd be pretty hype, man. And they're going to point to, what happened. They're going to the media and everything, leading up to it, plus the fans and stuff, going into the game are going to talk about what happened last year. The 4-point victory. We all remember what happened. It's going to be a hype game. It's going to be a hype game. I know Mr. Whisker put it down as an L for the Canes. I know some people vent their frustrations, again, with saying, that's not my vote. Coop, you can't put it down as a W because I didn't say that. Again, it's the majority. I know it's impossible for it to speak to each individual person. That's why you got to let your voice be heard in the live chat. Put it down in the comment section, but I have to go with the majority. I had no choice. It's what we got to do here. And right now it's 59% W, 41% L with 22 votes. Come on, let's get it to 30. Let's get it to 30. It's at the top of the chat. At the top of the chat. Come on. See, I don't know that I feel the same way, though, Nick. And I say that because a lot of people say, how can you, and I'm not arguing a loss here. Spoiler alert, I have this down as a win on my way too early. But I know a lot of people, when I did my prediction, they said you can't have Miami winning Notre Dame or beating Notre Dame and beating Florida and losing to a lesser team. My first response to that is, have you watched Miami Hurricanes football? I'm not taking a shot at you. I'm talking about the other people. I was like, have you watched Miami football? But also, I know that more than likely you are going to win. You're probably a pretty good football team if you're opening with Notre Dame and if it's a beatdown and you handle business against an improved Florida team. But I mean, if you look at college football, take Miami out of the equation, it's just unpredictable. Teams all the time will beat a top 10 team and then lose to an unranked opponent the week after. It just happens sometimes. I mean, if we're just talking numbers here, most likely they would win it. If Miami's this hot, if Miami's 10-0 going into the Virginia Tech game, they should be the better team. But Miami fans probably agree that, well, it'd be the Miami thing to do to drop one of these last two games and screw the whole season up. But also, it's not impossible. I hate when people use the word impossible because in my preview, I'll just tell y'all, I had Miami losing to SMU, but I had them beating Notre Dame in Florida. And right out of the gate, I'm talking 10 minutes after I posted that video, people said, Coop, you are the stupidest human being on the planet because if Miami beat Notre Dame in Florida, it's impossible to lose to SMU, who will not be as good as those two teams. Impossible. No, it's not impossible. If that were the case, then why no teams would even play the rest of their schedule? If you beat a big top-ranked team, well, then why even play the rest of them if it's impossible to lose? Notre Dame lost to NIU. No matter what the circumstances are, they lost to NIU, and they were in the college football playoffs and the national championship. It happens. It happens, man. VT would blow your mind. That's fair. That's fair. Middle Tennessee State. Yeah, it's not impossible. That's all I'm trying to say is it's not impossible. It's not impossible to win a game against a really good opponent and then lose to someone who's not as good as that really good opponent that you beat. It has happened and can happen. Will it happen this year? I hope not. I hope not. Hokie Lover will probably hate you, but the program is having issues. I'll give y'all like 30 more seconds. I appreciate the votes. We're getting close to 30. 54% win, 46% loss. I think this, if I'm not mistaken, would now be the closest ratio here. So on the fence a little bit here in the community with the win or loss against Virginia Tech. Understandable. Understandable. You're right, Creamy Shroom. You're right. There's no reason that Miami should have dropped that game to Georgia Tech, especially, or Syracuse, you know? Yep. Claude Go Crazy says, I see 3 losses on the schedule. Who you got? I'm shocked. I'll be honest. I thought that the community vote was going to be around 10-2. And right now, y'all got it at 11-1. All right. So there it is. 53% win, 46% loss on the votes to Virginia Tech. Going down as a W. Final game of the season. If this is true, the Canes are the talk of the town. Everybody is all Miami. The media is all over us. As the Canes go on the road again to close out the season against Pitt, a team that has really messed up Miami in the past. I don't think any of us have ever forgotten that 2017 season against Pitt. They went 7-5 last year. They ended on a 5-game losing streak. I think they won 7. Golly bum. I think they won 7, then lost 5 in a row. And heck, you can go ahead and make it 6 if you want to talk about the bowl game. 6 in a row. That went to 6 overtimes against Toledo. But I think they have a solid QB. Eli Holstein, they're going to have a great group of wide receivers for Holstein to throw to. But this is, once again, a late November game. Could weather play a part? Maybe. Pat Narduzzi, however you say his name. You know who he is. Year 11. Good grief. Year 11. Been there a hot minute. Put up the poll. Put up the poll. Win-loss, last one. Let's make it count. Let's make it count. Come on. Come on, Miami versus Pitt. I want to say once again, as we're coming up on the tail end of the stream, how much I appreciate y'all being here. Everybody that showed up and was active in the chat, the lurkers, everybody who voted. Again, I had not been live in a month, more than a month. And I'll be brutally honest and transparent. I've just been kind of down and out. I'm not looking for sympathy or for anyone to jump in here and be like, oh, Coop, I'm so sorry. I'm not doing that. I've been kind of down and out and depressed for a bit. And it just is what it is. You know, everybody has bad shit happen to them. And you just got to get through it. You just got to push. So I've not had the motivation. I've not wanted to turn the camera on. I've done some gaming streams on Twitch here and there. I've tried to post some videos, but it's not felt good. And I've been in a bad headspace, and that's where I'm at. And no excuses, but that's why I haven't been live or really done many videos. But as college football is now approaching, I'm getting excited. And I'm pumped to talk about it and fire the streams and stuff back up. So I just wanted to be transparent with you guys because I consider you my friends and my family. So just letting everybody know, I kind of kept a lot of you in the dark because I try to not bring that stuff to the channel if I can avoid it. Sometimes, I got to put it out there. But I just wanted to be honest and upfront and let y'all know. But we back. You know, I feel like I say that all the time. We back. Coop took another break. He's back again. Coop's gone again. He's back again. It's part of life, man. You know. Gmail says 8-4 or 9-3. Star says, I think we get over the Pitt hump this year. Hey, I appreciate you, Alex. Down but never out. That's right. Baseball will do that to a man. Dang, I start rooting for the Braves, and now what? Freaking Profar gone. He's juicing up. Suspended for a ton of games. Pitchers were down in the dumps. They've finally been hitting a little bit better because Acuna came back. No kidney stones. That's a great reason to be excited. A football season without kidney stones. Very true. Last one, man. Y'all got Miami going 12-0. I am shocked. Did you watch any of Miami's late season run of baseball? Yeah, I did. I didn't really post about it or anything, but I did watch some of it, yeah. The Ville will be bombing you this year with the addition of Vince Marrow. So it was Louisville was a little bit closer, Henry, but it still went down as a dub. When we did the community predictions last year, I don't want people to jump in here that are new that are like, well, of course, it's the majority Canes fans here on your channel because it's a Miami channel. So, of course, y'all put 12-0. There were losses last year. Let me see what y'all put. The community will absolutely predict a loss if they feel that way. And people put losses. Let's see. Okay, 2020, I've been 2024. I don't even know what year it is. 2024. Okay. So let's see what the community put last year, just to check. Okay, to be fair, last year, this is what the community prediction was. Let me turn my camera off. There it is. This was the community prediction for 2024 was 11-1. And to be fair, they weren't that far off. It's more so about the overall win-loss ratio as opposed to the games. It's just brownie points if you get the games right. And we got to go game by game because I think it makes it more fun. But they had one loss. And Miami went 10-2. You know, it was Georgia Tech and Syracuse. What did I have? This is way too early. Always keep that in mind. This is way too early. So this was not the finalized official prediction. This was the way too early version. That's right. I had Miami going on that 3-game skid. I had them losing off the bye week from the curse and losing to Louisville, FSU, and Duke. Obviously, Florida State, 2-10. Didn't happen. But I had 9-3 in my way too early, and y'all had 11-1. So that's what it looked like last year. So I'm just trying to make the point that the community will put an L. They'll put an L. They've done it. But it's looking like this year. It looks like the community thinks undefeated. What's up, Tyrone? Jay says, yes, sir. 12-0. I'm closing it. It's 80-20. It's 80-20. There it is. The viewers have spoken. The majority, keyword majority here, not everyone. When putting it to a poll, the majority believes it will be an undefeated 12-0 season. Do not be shy. Do not be afraid to speak your mind in the comments. Even if you're here right now and afterwards, you want to say, Coop, I voted L against SMU. Coop, I said L. I think Pitt is going to catch Miami in that final game. Make sure you sound off. And if you're okay with going back and forth and catching a little bit of heat, go in there and put your opinion. And see, that's to be fair. The context matters, which is why I make sure that I say that in the video, because that's an excellent point, Cypher. Ones that were like 55-45 were, a little closer to where it shows that fans were like, close to half of us think it might be a loss. So that is important. People are, you know what they're going to do, Cypher, because I'm going to post this on social media. I'm going to say this is the community prediction. And people are going to say, of course, Miami fans said 12-0. Bunch of delusional fans. We're going to get called a bunch of names and all this stuff. The context matters. The percentage and everything matters. And thankfully, you can see it on the VOD if people watch it after the fact. And that's why I try to be vocal and mention it. But my prediction, let's put them side by side. Coop's way too early prediction versus the community's way too early prediction is this. Carson Beck knows how to win. I agree. I'm actually very excited to have Carson Beck on the squad, Tyrone, and I've been super vocal about it. We did a stream where some people were pushing back a little bit on Mario, saying, why would we pay this guy this money? Look at his 2024 stats. I'm very hype. I know that Carson Beck has played on some big stages. He has won big-time games. And I think for him to come into the ACC, it's not that big of a deal. Again, we talk about a game like Florida. It's been with a different squad, but Beck hasn't lost to Florida. He's not scared to play Florida. Notre Dame, oh man, Coop, the jitters and first game. Bro, he's played in bigger games than that. As long as the chemistry and the timing is there, if he can find a rhythm, early in the season and connect with these Miami receivers and tight ends and stuff, man, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. We just need him to stay healthy. And they would not have brought him in after giving him, an initial assessment if they didn't think that he couldn't come out and throw the football around pretty darn well again. They spent the money. They brought him in. They're confident in that. What's up, Straight Street 6? Yeah, it's been a minute, so I'm sure it surprised some people. It's a weird day for me. Yeah, so he's got to stay healthy, right, Patty? Super important. But that's what I had in my way too early. You can check out the video if you want to. I posted it earlier this week, I think. I have Miami going 11-1 with a loss to SMU. And the community overall has it at 12-0. So there it is. There it is. I had to figure out how to take it off. So that's what we got. 12-0, huh? 12-0. Y'all surprised me. I can't believe it. I didn't see this coming. I did not see this coming. There we go. Thought I was froze for a second. 12-0. But it's one of those Miami hopefully does handle business this season. I'm very, very anxious to see defensively what Heatherman's defense looks like, because we want to believe it's this massive leap, this huge improvement, because he made a pretty big improvement at Minnesota in their first season. And Miami's going to have more talented players than what he was working with. But these are some big-time games early with Notre Dame and Florida on the schedule, so there's not really a lot of time to get settled in. We're not opening with Bethune or USF or these other cupcakes. It's going to be the national championship runner-up. So they got to be locked in from game number one. And again, Carson Beck's chemistry with the receivers and tight ends early. And we'll see. What do we have to look for from Coop if we go undefeated? Party mode. I'll lose my mind. Yep. It'll be a wild ride. I'm planning on just some small talk to wrap up the stream before we call it a night. Once again, shout out to everybody who hung out tonight. I appreciate y'all. Starting next week, we'll try to get back to the regularly scheduled stream day, which is Friday. That way people aren't as thrown off. And hopefully we can mix in some other days. Hopefully we can be a lot more active, actually. I don't know what this fan thing is that YouTube is trying to do. I don't even know really how this works, but shout out to the top fans from tonight's stream. I don't know if this is based off of how many comments you put or what, but I'll clap it up again. I don't know. I don't know. I've been MIA for a month, so y'all probably know more about this than I do. It's built into the YouTube chat. Randy at number 1, Sage at number 2, and Katie at number 3. I'll do some research. I'll try to figure out what this even means. But shout out to the top fans. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you. Interesting. I don't know what they're trying to do. I don't know what that means, but But I had something I wanted to say for some small talk, and now I got distracted and forgot about it. Shout out to top dono of the night, my man Duck, the mullet run, always showing Coop some love. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it, Duck. What's up, Justin? Catching the tail end of this bad boy. Can you believe it, Justin? The community has Miami at 12-0. Oh, I know what I was going to say. As far as some big things happening this season, don't forget that we are doing the Doak takeover. So I will be picking around 8 to 10 viewers to go with us to the Miami-Florida State game, and we have amazing seats. Joel Davis has hooked us up. I think we're going to take a freaking limo, and like it's going to be wild. And we're going to do some sort of giveaway. We're going to give away some tickets, and everybody will be sitting together. So it's going to be pretty freaking cool. It's going to be this community event. So we have that to look forward to in 2025. I am planning on doing a Notre Dame diss track and either a Florida State or Florida diss track, maybe 2. There might be 2 of them this year. We're 2-0. Let's not worry about the losses. We've won the last 2 games we did diss tracks for. I dissed Florida last year. A lot of people don't remember it because they only remember the ones that are the losses. So it fits the narrative, which is fine. Views are views. I don't care. I don't care to be a meme. It's fun. I'm just enjoying myself. But we won last year, and I dissed Florida. We got the W. I did Miami of Ohio the year before that because they said, hey, we're the real Miami. Nobody believed that BS. I had to drop a diss track. We got the dub. This year, I'm thinking I have to drop one for Notre Dame. Notre Dame's like locked in. I have to drop a diss track on Notre Dame. But then I if I'm feeling a little frisky, we might diss Florida or Florida State, because if I drop one for Florida State, we're going to be in Tallahassee. So I think that would be pretty cool to drop one on FSU and we're going to the game. I think that'd be pretty sick. So we've got that planned. I want to do some more giveaways and stuff this year. I'm actually working with an agent who is potentially getting us some sponsorship deals. And trust me, I will not take them. I've always been very open about this. I will not take them unless it's something that I feel like I'm actually interested in. So we might have that, but that'll help the channel, right? That means we get to do more, we can grow, we can have some more fun. That means extra skits, more giveaways, more streams, more videos, all that stuff. So we have that coming up. It should be a good year. It should be a really good year. This is a well-known guy. He works with other big-time YouTubers. He's done stuff with Uncle Lou and some other big channels, like 6-figure subscriber channels. So I'm really looking forward to that. It should be a good year. And the virtual season, I know I've said it a couple times, but people will continue to ask, and understandably so, should start the first or second week of July. And we're going to figure something out. I don't know how we're going to do it, but it really might have to be 2 games a week. I don't know how else we're going to get through them. We can't just do every Friday because we'll only get halfway through the season. And, I can't expect things to stay the same forever. That's just not how life works. So, again, we have to roll with it and adapt. And we got to wait on the new game to come out. So I have to adjust and figure out a way to make it work. So the Coop Plays version will return, complete with post-game interviews, answering questions from you guys. I'll be playing as the actual coach of the virtual team. Plus, we'll do the hands-off CPU versus CPU, complete with Siren coming out. It should be a fun year, man. Be a fun year. Don't become like those sunshine and rainbow check cashers. I would never, Katie. I promise you. I know I had some people. I know you know Cuban Kane. He tried to call me out one day on Twitter, and he said, "Oh man, they cut the check. They cut the check to Coop. They got to him." My opinion is always my own. I try to be objective. Obviously, I'm a Canes fan first. And I love Cuban. It's no hate towards Cuban. But, you know, it does piss me off a little when people try to say that, oh, somebody paid off Coop to say this, or Coop's trying to get in Mario's good graces. You're talking about the guy that when Miami has been losing, that I've done a live stream from a garbage can. If I feel like the team is playing like trash, I'm going to say they're playing like trash. I made a video when Tyler Van Dyke started going downhill, and I said Tyler Van Dyke needs to enter the transfer portal. Miami will never win a natty with Tyler Van Dyke at quarterback. I'll call him out. I don't care. I try to be like mostly like positive and optimistic because that's, you know, I like to be in that headspace. But, you know, that's why we have the walking and venting. I predict L's all the time. So you have my word that nobody's ever going to be able to pay off Coop to do that. I get some flack for predicting L's and being negative sometimes, but I want to see the team win. You know, but at the end of the day, I am a fan. I do always hope that people can remember that. I am a fan. So, you know, I can sit here and be like, man, this team's playing like trash right now. I'm still going to root for them. I'm still going to support the team because I love the Canes. So, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, though. Cuban does like to stir the pot. He does. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. And I do want to close with saying this. When we talk about fan police, I also don't mind if people only want to be positive. I don't care if people only want to come out here and say 12-0 every single season. I've never understood why that gets under people's skin so much, and I'll tell you why. Not everyone wants to approach being a fan of a team like objectively. Not everybody wants to be a fan and break down all the pros and cons of this and the team as it's going. Some people don't care about the behind the scenes stuff. The talent acquisition side of it, the money side. People have to understand that some people just want to be a fan. And there's nothing wrong with that. They want to root for the team. They want to say, the team is going to win. I know it. They want to put good vibes out there, and they don't care about any of the other stuff, and there's never anything wrong with that. It's why the fan police make me so mad. If you are the more negative fan that looks at the bad side of things and, man, this team's cursed and we're never going to win, that's fine too. I know that we talk about this every year and it's a silly conversation to have, but I do get mad when people, you know, someone will be like, we're going to win, I'm feeling good, and, you know, Miami, it's a game they're not going to win. You know what I mean? Like it just ain't going to happen. It would have been like Miami playing Ohio State last year. Miami would not win that. But if there's a Miami fan that wants to believe that Miami can win it and they just want to root for the team and say that they're going to win it, let them do it. Who cares? Let them do whatever they want to do. I'm just saying there's people that don't follow the offseason moves, or they're not worried about coaching movement, any of that. They want to be a fan, and sports for some people are, you got to remember, for some people, sports are not their life. They watch Miami play their games from August to December, and then they switch it off and they're done. They don't want to introduce any negativity into their life, so they would rather just watch the team play, root for them, and that be the end of it. Yep, that's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is there's no reason to jump on people and piss in their Cheerios and call them names and say they're not a fan. If they just want to watch the game and enjoy it and root for the Canes. There's nothing wrong with it. Everybody has their own approach. I'm a fan, but I try to be more objective just because I like to see how close I can be. You know? That's why I approach it that way. But my opinion will always be my own. I said all that just to say that. My opinion will always be my own. If I smell some BS, I'm going to try to call it out. If I'm not happy with the team or decisions they're making, I'll say something. I don't care. You know? But at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate all the love tonight. I'm going to call it a night. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for being here. I'll try to fire up another video tomorrow or Monday, and we'll get the ball rolling again. Let's get people excited about the season. Let's get people pumped to talk college football again. We're gonna blink and it's gonna be here, man. We're halfway through June. It's time. It's time. Let's do this thing. Let's lock in. No problem, Straight Street 6. It happens, bro. It happens. It happens. All right. I'm throwing up the outro screen. Love y'all. You know what to do. Please sound off in the comments if you missed it, or if you just want to speak your piece a little bit. I just appreciate y'all being here, man. Go Canes. Wrong button, though. Wrong button. Good thing I wasn't like flipping y'all off or something. Wouldn't that have been something?